Welcome to LOGIVERSE. Today, we're peeling back one of the most disturbing truths of our generation, the rise of narcissism. We were told to love ourselves, to express thought, to be confident, to chase individuality. But somewhere along the way, self-love became self. In a world obsessed with mirrors, digital and real, the question isn't who we are anymore. It's how we look being who we are. This isn't just vanity. It's a silent shift in consciousness. A transformation of human identity itself. Chapter 1. From self-love to self-obsession. There was a time when self-love meant self-respect. It meant knowing your worth, setting boundaries, and growing from pain. But in today's culture, self-love has been hijacked by self-obsession. It's no longer about inner peace. It's about outer validation. Social media became the stage. Every post, every photo, every story, a performance in the theater of approval. The self is no longer experienced, it's marketed. And the irony, the louder people scream, "I don't care what anyone thinks," the more desperately they crave likes, comments, and digital applause. What used to be self-expression has become self. The line between authenticity and performance blurred beyond recognition. Chapter 2. The Mirror Trap. Psychologists call it the mirror stage. The moment an infant first recognizes itself in the mirror. It's a key part of development, the birth of identity. But today, that mirror never turns off. It lives in our pockets. It follows us everywhere. We check our reflections, not in glass, but in pixels. And each reflection demands improvement, a better angle, a smoother filter, a version of you that isn't you, but the idea of you. And here's the paradox. The more we refine our digital selves, the less we recognize our real ones. When attention becomes currency, authenticity becomes debt. Chapter 3. The Psychology of Narcissism. True narcissism isn't just about selfies or vanity. It's a defense mechanism, a fragile ego wrapped in the illusion of perfection. Beneath the surface, confidence often lies emptiness, insecurity, and fear. The narcissist doesn't love themselves. They worship an image they can't live up to. And in a society that rewards that image, where beauty, virality, and status are mistaken for worth, narcissism becomes not a disorder, but a survival strategy. You can't escape it because it's rewarded. The louder you shout, the more the algorithm listens. The more outrageous your opinion, the more engagement you earn. In this system, humility becomes invisible, wisdom becomes boring, and silence is seen as weakness.
Chapter 4. The Cultural Shift. We live in a time where identity is performance and morality is branding. People build personalities like products. Authenticity is rehearsed. And the idea of being a private person now feels almost suspicious. Even acts of kindness are filmed. Empathy, once silent and sacred, now comes with hashtags. This cultural narcissism goes beyond individuals. It's embedded in our systems, our media, and even our activism. Every movement is filtered through self-image. We care, but we also need to be seen caring. We've turned compassion into content. It's your Chapter 5 on the ancient warning. This isn't new. 2,000 years ago, the Greek myth of Narcissus told this same story. A man so enchanted by his own reflection that he fell into the water and drowned. The tragedy wasn't vanity, it was disconnection. He couldn't see the world beyond himself. Philosophers from Buddha to Nietzsche have warned of this ego trap. The Buddha called it the illusion of self. Nietzsche said, "He who despises himself still respects himself as one who despises." Even he saw that our obsession with identity can turn self-awareness into self-destruction. We have built a culture that teaches us to look inward, but not deeper, to admire the surface, not to understand the soul. Chapter 6. The Hidden Cost. So what happens when a society becomes narcissistic? Empathy declines, relationships weaken, conversations turn into competitions. We stop listening to understand, we listen to respond. We stop connecting, we start comparing. The self becomes a brand and everyone else becomes an audience. And the scariest part? In this constant performance, we lose the ability to sit alone with our own thoughts. We fear stillness because it threatens the illusion we've built. We keep scrolling, posting, consuming because silence might expose the void beneath. Chapter 7. The Path Back. But it doesn't have to end here. The antidote to narcissism isn't self-hate, it's self-awareness. To look within, not for validation but for truth. To realize that your worth doesn't come from attention, but from intention. Practice humility. Create without an audience in mind. Love without needing to be seen. The greatest rebellion in a narcissistic age is quiet authenticity. Spend time in solitude. Let your thoughts echo. Do one thing each day that no one will ever see, and you'll rediscover the beauty of being human, not seen. Final summary. We're living in the age of narcissism, a time where the self has become the new religion, and the mirror, the altar. But the cure isn't to smash the mirror. It's to see through it. Because once you realize that validation doesn't equal value, and visibility doesn't equal virtue, you take back your soul from the algorithm. True self-love is quiet, it doesn't shout. It doesn't perform, it simply is. And maybe that's where real peace begins. Thank you for watching LOGIVERSE. Let's keep thinking deeper.